You know what every cheater has in common. I've analyzed over 500 cases. And here's the truth. A woman who cheats always romanticizes the dirt. If you're watching this right now, chances are you've either been burned before or you're terrified it might happen to you. Here's what I need you to understand. Most betrayals could have been stopped at the very first glance. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot a woman who's wired for infidelity, and why religious women aren't just prudes. They're actually the safest bet for a real, committed relationship. But before we dive in, smash that like button. It's not for me, it's for the algorithm. It helps more people who actually need to hear this find the video. And subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Appreciate you. Let's roll. She will never say it straight. Yeah, I want Mike from accounting to pound me so hard my mascara runs. Instead, she says, Mike and I are soulmates. We talked for 2 hours. He just gets me. It feels like I've known him for 1,000 years. We have this special karmic connection, this chemistry, this closeness. Karmic connection. Translation: a guy who knows when to refill her wine glass so he can get laid later. It's not that I took my panties off. It's that the universe just aligned. But here's what actually happened. They hooked up in a cramped car in a grocery store parking lot. The whole thing smelled like a pine tree air freshener and armpit sweat. Her leg cramped up. She smacked her elbow on the door handle. The parking brake was digging into her side. Mike was breathing like he had asthma, grunting like a pig, dripping sweat right onto her face. Some dude in a pickup truck parked next to them and watched the whole thing. He barely had time to light a cigarette. 2.5 minutes. She didn't even have time to get warmed up. But here's what she tells her friend. It was incredible. So romantic. Mike and I just sat there listening to the rain on the car roof. Drop, drop, drop. Except it wasn't rain. It was the guy in the pickup truck coughing and pounding his chest. You know why cheaters don't feel guilty? Because in their heads, they're not some girl getting used in a parking lot. They're the heroine of a tragic, beautiful love story. She will never say to herself, I slept with another guy because I wanted to. That's too honest. Instead, she says, my boyfriend doesn't understand me, but Mike actually sees me. It's primitive self-deception. It's like taking a dump in an elevator and telling your friend, you won't believe what just happened. It was so spontaneous, so unexpected. The universe gave me the signal. I just let go and trusted the process. I finally allowed myself to be free. And her friend says, wow, you're so brave. I'm still just doing it in dressing rooms. Here's the thing. You can package anything as something beautiful. Crap becomes organic fertilizer. Cowardice becomes caution. Backstabbing becomes flexible principles. And cheating? That's easy. Just call it love. A woman takes this pure, innocent word, love, and stretches it over sweaty Mike like a cheap bedsheet. Even a 5-year-old knows love means loyalty first. If a woman calls a cheap hookup love, men in white coats should show up and take her straight to the psych ward. A client sent me his wife's text the other day. She writes, I don't want to lie to you. I need to be honest. I fell in love with someone else. He asks me, what do I say back? I told him, let me translate that from woman speak to English. What your wife is really saying. I've been lying to you a lot. Mike and I have already figured everything out. You're living in his space now, so get out of the apartment. He's already packed and ready. He even tried on your underwear. Fits like a glove. All that's left is to get rid of you. Think about that. She managed to wrap up betrayal in 3 compliments to herself. I don't want to lie, which means I have a conscience. I need to be honest, which means I'm truthful. I fell in love with someone else. Fell in love. Pretty words. You almost don't see Mike behind them, pounding her until she screams. This is why I'm suspicious of women who are obsessed with romance. Today, she romanticizes a sunset. Tomorrow, she'll romanticize sweaty Mike. To her, there's no difference. The only thing that matters is that it makes her feel something. So, why do some women cheat and others don't? Some women are wired for it. If we simplify it, there are two systems in the brain. First, the limbic system. It controls arousal, lust, pleasure, attachment, emotion. Second, the prefrontal cortex. That's impulse control, self-discipline, duty, delayed gratification. Some women are born with a limbic system running hot. They're impulsive. They crave drama, passion, emotional chaos. And yeah, those women are more likely to cheat. But here's the thing. Your brain is plastic. It gets stronger at whatever you use it for. What cranks up the limbic system? Romanticizing feelings. Movies and books about forbidden passion. Constantly chasing emotional highs. Sad songs you cry to in the car. What strengthens the prefrontal cortex? Discipline. Saying no to temptation. The ability to tell your own urges to shut up. If a woman is all about her feelings, her emotions, her romantic experiences, her vibes, that means her limbic system is in the driver's seat. She can't control her desires. If some random guy catches her attention, she has no internal brakes. She's a Formula One car doing 220 miles an hour with no brake pads. You can't stop her. No conversation, no manipulation, nothing. How does this play out in real life? Imagine your girl gets a new coworker. This guy looks like a wolf, jaw like a Marvel superhero, voice like gravel, low, rumbling. His eyes are X-rays. He looks at your girl and sees her naked. The first time he bends over to pick up a pen, the secretary literally has to cross her legs. Distance between this dude and your girl? About 10 feet. She's going to spend 8 hours a day with him. Let's be real. Any woman would find this guy attractive. Your girl's heart might skip a beat. Her cheeks flush. Things get warm down there. But if she has a trained prefrontal cortex, self-control, a sense of duty, she thinks, okay, he's cute, but I have a boyfriend, so I'm not going to think about him. I know women in relationships who literally avoid men they might be attracted to. They redirect their attention to work. They kill the crush before it breathes. But if a woman's limbic system runs the show, if she lives for sensation, emotion, the feels, she can't say stop. You know what she does? First thing, she goes to the bathroom and undoes the top button of her blouse. By lunch, the second button is gone. By end of day, it's a storefront window. Hey boys, come and get it. She might stand behind him in the cafeteria line, pressed right up against his back, chest to spine. And she's not just standing there, she's breathing deep, making sure her girls give his vertebrae a full massage. She might unwrap a sucker, create a vacuum, pull her cheeks in so hard you can see her teeth. Then, pop! She yanks it out of her mouth. Sounds like a champagne cork. Then she starts rolling it around in her cheek, one side puffed out like a hamster with a nut. And the whole time, locking eyes with him, staring him down. Ice cream? She doesn't bite it. She licks it, slowly, in circles. And the chair! She starts shifting, rocking from one cheek to the other, like she's trying to pack something down in there. That's day 1. Imagine what she's doing by month 2. Why? Because she has 0 arguments in her head to stop herself. You know what she believes? You have to live your emotions. I deserve to be happy. The heart wants what it wants. Don't betray yourself. Feelings come first. Don't live for other people. You don't have to settle. Live in the now. And all that philosophy ends the same way. Face down in a pillow. Some guy pounding her so hard the bed scoots across the floor. Good news. Women like this are incredibly easy to spot. She makes everything about her feelings. How do you know, ahead of time, if a woman will cheat? You can clock a future cheater in 60 seconds. Ask her, imagine you're in a relationship, but you somehow end up falling for someone else. What do you do? A normal woman will say, "What do you mean fall for someone else? Like I'm just walking down the street, the wind blows, and my panties fly off." She'll be genuinely confused, because she understands cause and effect. Falling for someone doesn't happen by accident. It's a result of choices she makes. But the problem woman? She says, "Wow, that's a complicated question. I mean, I'd probably be honest with my partner. We'd talk about it. Maybe go to couples therapy. I'd need to figure out what's missing in my relationship." You hear that? She's already got it all mapped out. She might even say, "Well, it depends on the relationship, depends on the love. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not, maybe I'm just imagining it." You feel that? She's looking for loopholes. Remember this, if a woman starts philosophizing about loyalty, her slingshot is already greased and ready to fire. You know what living with her is actually going to look like? One day she walks up to you and goes, "Babe, we have a new boss. Voice like a bass amp. Shoulders so wide he takes 2 seats in the movie theater. I'm dripping so hard the janitor just follows me around with a mop. I already carved his name into my thigh. So here's the deal. By Friday, you either turn into a mix of Rockefeller and Brad Pitt, or I'm going to go polish his gear shift." One warning. This test only works in the beginning. If you're already deep in a relationship, she won't give you an honest answer. Okay, she passed the first test. What else can you do? Here's another dead simple test. Ask her, a wife cheats on her husband. He finds out. They get divorced. Is that cheating? Any woman will say, obviously. Good. Now, a wife tells her husband she doesn't love him anymore. She leaves. A month later, she's getting railed by some other dude. Is that cheating? The potential cheater says, no, they were already broken up. She's a free woman. Boom. Caught you. When a woman says, I don't love you anymore. Translate that to, I want another man to put me on all fours. What difference does it make if it happens now or next week? The result is the same. No family, no relationship, and my woman is wrapped around some other guy. If a thief called you before a robbery and said, hey man, just a heads up, in 3 weeks I'm going to steal your TV and take a dump in your shoes, but hey, I warned you, so it's not really theft, right? Does that make you feel better? Didn't think so. Picture this. A wife walks up to her husband and says, honey, I want to be honest with you. I don't love you anymore. And in 2 weeks, Mike from accounting is going to bend me over his couch. I'm going to grab his headboard, scream his name, and we're going to shower together after. But I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you straight. Most women think this is totally fine. Life happens. Feelings change. Nobody's fault. By that logic, you could call your husband from the other guy's bed, as long as you're honest about it. Hey, honey, can't talk right now. Mike's just flipping me over. Oh, you remember, right? It's not cheating. We broke up yesterday, so no hard feelings. Okay, love you. Bye. I'm not exaggerating. If your girl gets stretched out by some rando 24 hours after a breakup, and you call her out on it, she'll say, what are you, insane? We were already broken up. Most people think cheating is when you catch someone with their pants down. To me, it's a much bigger idea. If a girl likes some other guy, breaks up with you, and immediately gets with him, that's cheating. Plain and simple, even if she left with nowhere to go. But what does she do after the breakup? She starts sandpapering her body dolphin smooth. She pumps her glutes until they're concrete, so the new guy can slap them and feel the vibration in his palm. She blows up her lips like suction cups. Shock absorption. She signs up for yoga, Pilates, stretching, so the second he snaps his fingers, she can throw her legs behind her ears. Any position, no complaints. She grows her hair out, pops vitamins, so the new stud can wrap it around his fist and jackhammer her into the mattress. She runs laps at the park, builds lung capacity, so she's not wheezing like an old mare when Dave from the gym puts her through a 2-hour marathon. She tunes herself up for some random dude who never did a single thing for her. So he gets the premium package, the fully loaded, 0 mileage, wet and ready model. You spent 5 years dealing with her excuses, her sweatpants with the pilling fabric. Ugh, not tonight. I'm so tired. I have a headache. No. And he gets the unleashed, tight, flexible, groomed, screaming version. Sound familiar? That's why I say, if a woman leaves a relationship with no good reason, and 6 months later, some new guy is bending her over a windowsill, that's cheating, because that was the motivation from second one. Now, if she's leaving a genuinely toxic man, a guy you can't build a life with, then no problem. 0 questions. By the way, your ex? She won't complain to the new guy about the draft from the window, or the neighbors watching. She doesn't care that the sill is cold, doesn't care that some old lady across the street is staring. She'll stand there for 20 minutes, forehead pressed against the glass, letting her new boyfriend drive her into the frame like a pile driver. Why? Because he's new. This is what she left for. Cheating isn't the moment of penetration. Cheating is the moment she decides to switch owners. Period. So how do you pick a woman who will never cheat? Here's my take. Your safest bet? A religious woman. She has something 90% of women don't. Patience. The ability to refuse temptation. Owning her mistakes. Emotional control. A religious woman restricts herself from eating what she wants for about 200 days a year. Most of the year, she's not eating what she craves. Don't confuse this with a fitness diet. A diet is a girl choking down chicken and broccoli so she can twerk on the beach. Most people don't get it. Willpower isn't built when you do something for a reward. Diet brain says, I'll suffer for a month, then I'll be queen of the beach. A religious woman suffers because it's required. Outwardly, they're doing the same thing, denying themselves food. But in one case, ego and pride grow. In the other, humility and self-control. A secular woman's morning starts with checking how many likes she got from random men. A religious woman's morning starts with prayer. Every day, she practices doing what she should do, not what she wants to do. Sees an attractive man, look away. Lustful thought, reject it. Covet someone else's man, repent. Regular girl walking down the street. Her head swivels 360 degrees, scanning every male. In her head, she's already mounted half of them. A religious woman lowers her gaze, crosses herself, and moves on. A churched woman, at confession, out loud, in front of a witness, calls herself garbage. I'm angry, lustful, greedy. Just try, getting a secular woman to say that about herself. She'll scratch your eyes out. Religious woman, I am a sinner. Secular woman, I am a queen. Religious woman fears sin. Secular woman says, what's wrong with it? If a secular woman falls for another man, she says, I fell in love. You can't control your heart. It was fate. A religious woman says, this is temptation, a test. I have to fight it. Who's more likely to cheat? The woman who thinks you only live once, or the woman who believes she will be held accountable? Yes. Sometimes a non-religious woman is better than a religious one, but that's the exception. When guys write in comments, my girl was religious but she still dumped me, cheated, left. 90% of the time. She wasn't actually religious. She crossed herself before an exam for luck. She dyed Easter eggs. That's it. I remember a consultation. A woman went to church regularly, but she acted strange. Her boyfriend asked, hey, if we move to another city, would you find a new church? She answered, probably not. What does that mean? It means she went for the vibe. The incense smells nice. The choir sounds pretty. The priest is handsome. Her friends are there. So, are there good women who aren't religious? Of course. But imagine if that good woman was also religious. What kind of angel would she be? If this video helped you, hit like, subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. It helps the channel grow and lets me make more content that actually matters. Thanks for making it to the end. I'll see you in the next one.